Well, thank you for joining us on another episode of the Esports Classroom Podcast. My name is Patrick Donovan, and this is just a little project where having esports coaches and players share out their stories, their experiences with high school and college esports across the country. So we have with us Seth today from Texas, our first foray into Texas. I'm going to let Seth introduce himself, and we'll get started.
Yep. First off, thanks for having me on. Pleasure to be here. Always good to be able to spread my esports story. Just kind of help out anyone in any way. It's good to hear everyone else's story. But my name is Seth Taylor. I am the head esports coach at Robinson High School out of Robinson, Texas. It's our second year going into esports at our school. We started out just high school. Now we're doing junior high. So I'm control over the seventh, eighth graders, and then ninth through 12th at the high school.
All right. Well, that answers that question. What do you mean by junior high? Seventh and eighth grade junior high, 9-12 high school. So
Correct.
you're just south of Waco. So about how big is your school? About how many kids per graduating class?
So we are a 4A high school. I would say in the graduating classes, there's about 400 kids. So, um, give or take, it's different throughout the grades, but it's funny, I'm actually not used to the scholastic scene. I was hired on solely as an esports coach to the high school, so I was never like a teacher or anything before. I was just strictly an esports coach. So when I started at the high school, it was my first time working with students. I started out at a LAN center, hosting and TOing tournaments, just kind of giving guidance to kids of all ages at the LAN center. So going to the actual school and like a bigger scene with a lot more kids, it was definitely a new experience for me.
Yeah, it is a lot of the classic esports are teachers, but I mean, I've been seeing a lot that have been pulled in, like with any sport or activity, like you do see some who are part timers, or they're just it's all they're doing. One of the coaches replaced me at my former district is actually one of our head custodians at that high school. So
Oh,
not a teacher, but he's in the building. He knows the kids. It's a smaller school.
yeah.
Uh, so Robinson is about definitely on the bigger end of schools as it would be in our state and here in Iowa, but I know some Texas has some much bigger high schools.
Right.
So in the second year, why did Robinson start esports, or how did that look like when they got started?
So there were multiple after school programs at Robinson, robotics, a DJ club, um, a lot of different activities just to kind of get students involved in different things, like get together in groups, even if they're not playing sports, it just gives them like another opportunity to do something. Um, it was always talked about having esports, seeing other schools around having it. Um, and it was just a lot of convincing, voting on it. A lot of people were against esports,
Yep.
but just seeing so many other schools in the area competing, seeing the benefit that it was bringing to the school, all the interest, how fast and rapidly esports was growing as a whole, it just seemed like there was no way it could be a bad idea to at least try it out and give it a chance to see if it takes off and has a positive impact on the school. So we
So a
just
good
went for it.
example of peer pressure then. The other schools are doing it, so we got to do it too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get involved? So why did you become an esports coach?
So I've always loved gaming. I grew up in LAN centers, playing in online tournaments, local tournaments. Um, Having my friends come over in high school and like we all have our systems and play games all the time. So just the love of esports like made me want to get involved, but also kind of show how another kid could have the same feeling and same love and drive for something like that that they may not realize at first. So, um, like I said, I started out in the land centers, but I got offered an opportunity to move into the high schools, and I figured that was just, the best situation to kind of do what I wanted to do. I want to help the kids out, give them guidance, kind of build their character overall, but also do that through something I love. So, esports coach kind of fit perfectly for me.
Yeah, I would say so. So you're at the land centers. What kind of games were you playing before you joined the esports? Or what are the games that you really
I've
competed
always
with?
Yeah, I've always been a League of Legends guy.
Yep.
League of Legends is my main game. I will say recently, working with the students, we actually don't compete in League of Legends. Um, we don't have enough teams in the league we play in to compete in League of Legends. So I'm not able to do that. So I've really been playing Valorant a lot,
Yep.
just to kind of get in the mind state of the students whenever they're playing, because that's the main game that we kind of focus on and that we are most successful in. So I've kind of been focusing on Valorant, and I'll play some games with the kids every now and then, and just kind of learn a new game. I've never really played first person shooters, but I do
Hmm.
enjoy Valorant a lot.
Yep. I mean, it is a popular game with the students, of course. So
Oh
you
yeah.
say part of the league. Is that a state league then, or who are you competing with part of your esports?
So at first, I wasn't really too sure. There's a lot of options in Texas.
Hmm.
We have Vanta, Play Versus. Um, so really, we were competing in both. In Valorant, we were competing in the High School Esports League, HSCL. Um, but we were mainly playing all of our titles in Play Versus the first year.
Yep.
Towards the end of our first year, Tech Stuff kind of merged with Playverses, and all of their events were on the Playverses domain. But it was kind of a separate league solely for Texas, played through Playverses using their software. So it was kind of the easiest, most active league to play in around our area. Being able to play, schools that we're aware of that we've seen before, it's just kind of more enjoyable, feels more competitive, rather than playing up the schools in this whole central region,
Yep.
like we were before. So we play all of our titles in TechSF now. Um, we play, we compete in Valorant, Fortnite, we have a varsity and JV Fortnite. We do Rocket League, Super Smash Bros. Teams, Super Smash Bros. Solos, and we're now doing Marvel Rivals.
Yep. Definitely Marvel Rivals is a new title for our state league too. So it is kind of interesting to hear how what state organizations I've seen this a couple times combined with Play Versus. I know with HSEL being out there, Play Versus being out there, there's some of those bigger organizations to be part of. But the nice thing, I guess, with your state kind of group joining with them, it allows you a chance to play still some teams you know in the state, as
Right.
opposed to maybe a random team up like in Wyoming or something like that. Um, so I guess that's a good combination of that. Whereas some of those drawbacks I've heard in the past was when you part of those larger groups is you didn't know who you were playing. That's kind of why I really do like our state league. But it's nice then that you are still competing with some high quality teams that maybe
Yeah.
that aren't too unfamiliar with you.
Yeah, and I think in that way it kind of relates to traditional sports a little more
Yep.
when you do district play, regional play, sort of the same thing. So it kind of gives esports a little more leadway. Whenever, the admin of the school is like, "Who are we playing this week?" And you're like, "Oh, we're playing Lorena. They're right there." And they're like, "Oh, that's our rival in football. Like, let me
Hmm.
know." let me know what happens, and then they're interested. So definitely helps us out. A lot more enjoyable for the students that
Yep.
way. So tech stuff has been great for us.
Yeah, I know I always enjoyed a little bit more when we beat up some of those opponents who, I think we have a beef with in multiple
Yeah.
activities, especially if they knocked us out of the playoffs.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Actually, tomorrow I think we face one of those. So a lot of different titles. Do you have any other coaches with you, or are you the only coach then running all the teams? How does that kind of work?
So funny you say that. Today, we hired on an additional coach. So we had our first day with the second coach, but for the past 2 years, starting out, it was just me as the coach. I had a director of the after school programs. They would come in and kind of be hands-on just to kind of help out with the students while I was more focused on the esports side of things, getting everything set up, our tech to get all the IPs and everything right, all the equipment set up. So I did have some help with the actual program, but I was the only actual esports coach. Um, but I'm definitely thankful I've had some help in and out throughout it. But starting today, we have an assistant coach joining, and they're mainly a Valorant coach. They've done some online coaching with semi-pro teams, so pretty excited to get him in and see what level he brings the team to, and kind of see where we can grow to with an additional coach. So super excited for that.
It does help gain our coaching, especially if they know a title. Because it's hard. I mean, because you mentioned a lot of different titles and you say your background League of Legends and you get to compete in it. So bring in somebody with a little bit more experience in that, to give the specific coaching where you can give that kind of general coaching for all titles. I'm lucky that I have a former student coming back to help us with both Rocket League and some insight on Overwatch, because those neither one are really my title. I mean, I can play a little bit, but not
Right.
like what they can do. So speaking of coaching, what are some of those things that you really try to focus on as a coach when you're in a coaching session with your students? What are those things you're focusing on?
I think one of the main things, um, so I knew most students are playing video games. Most students have their own skills. They're kind of good in their own way. But to be a successful esports team and have a successful program, you have to be able to play as a team and you have to be able
Mhm.
to coordinate and have structure behind what you're doing. You have to have a routine and kind of drive yourself to do things you usually don't want to do while you're playing games so you can improve at certain things. So I think really just, you know, learning how to play as a team, understanding how other people play, knowing that you need to kind of fill your role as a team and not kind of be the own player that you are and do what you're good at. Sometimes you kind of have to play around your team and do certain things to bring the team together and be better as a whole. So the biggest thing is teamwork, accountability. Same thing as like traditional sports or any other um, thing involved with school. You have to be passing your classes.
Yep.
You have to stay out of trouble. You need to be at practice. You need to be on time, be respectful, help out your classmates. So I like to focus on the kind of core fundamentals of team building, making friends and making it enjoyable for everyone. Because if you don't have that, it doesn't really matter how good you are at a game. You won't be able to grow at all, and it's just an enjoyable experience for everyone.
Yep. Definitely agree with you on all of that. You just hey, tell my students we have finals this week, of course, so great time for that. And I'm like, hey, for once, I'm not gonna tell you to play video games when you go home, burst to be studying. Maybe we have a match tomorrow, so
Yeah.
they can play again once they're done with their finals. what are some of those you talked about? Kind of not everybody was on board with esports. Are there any other big obstacles that you've kind of run into with the last couple of years of the program?
Um, so it's not too big of a problem, but a thing that I struggled with kind of with the diversity of the students and the games that they like. It's kind of being able to differentiate between people that like to play video games and who are competitive in esports. And, I like to think we're a competitive esports club. We play to compete. We would like to win. We like to have a winning drive, but also there's students that just want to hang out and have fun and just play some video games and don't really want to be in that spotlight and compete. They'd rather just, chill and play some Mario Kart or
Hmm.
Super Mario Bros. Or something. So, I think kind of just finding a way for everyone to be a part of the club, um, still participate and like have motivation for everything, but not really have to put themselves in a position they don't want to be in. So, um, just kind of opening up, adding different options in the club. I've started to let the students design logos, make different rewards for some of the tournaments we have. I did a summer school project where the students were able to make their own esports tournament, invite students from other schools, and then we hosted it at the end of the summer at a local land center just to kind of teach them like the industry in esports and everything behind it, streaming, registration, brackets, all that stuff. So just kind of getting people involved in all the aspects of esports rather than just competitively playing. Because I mean, the end goal is to be able to give an opportunity to a student, and the only opportunity in esport isn't just playing games. So I like to kind of show them all the different routes and roads they could go down to kind of make a career out of it or enjoy it as long as possible.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I love the summer school thing. I think just because again, I've tried to have the conversation with a lot of people about the authentic learning that can be connected to esports, and you hit a lot of those things. Like there's project management that you talked about. There's media creation. There's the whole organization to run it all. It's not just playing the video games. There's a lot of actual learning that
Right.
can be connected to it to a real thing that they put out. So that's great that they put on this tournament, invited others, ran it all. Yeah, I know that's all a lot of work because it is a lot of work.
For sure. And if we didn't have all of those things and people filling those roles, then we wouldn't have esports at all. So,
Yep.
I mean, someone has to do it. It's an essential part of it. So it definitely should be taught. And I feel that all of those things are still enjoyable if you love video games because,
Hmm.
I mean, it all involves gaming. So,
Besides the summer school, I'm going to count that as one really big win. Are there any other big wins you've had with your program, or like you say, like this is why we do esports?
yes. So our first year or last year, we actually qualified for the TechSef state finals for Valorant. So our first year, we actually had a couple students that had never touched a mouse or keyboard before. They've only played console games, but they really wanted to play with their friends and be on a team and play together. So they've fully committed to it, committed to learning it, learning the game. Um, so we were all a little worried at first. It may not be a good year. It'll be a building year, but not
Yep.
the best year. Um, but we did make it to the state finals, so we got that experience. We got to go play at Baylor and be there with hundreds of other students that qualified and get the full experience of it all. So it kind of gives us some motivation to see what we're working towards, see what opportunities we can have for the next coming years. It was also cool to see the support from our school once we did make that. We had a big announcement at the school, and they called every student out to go line down the road and they did a send off for us, and we were all loaded up in the Suburban, and they made signs and ribbons and were cheering for us. So it was cool to kind of be in the spotlight of everything and get honored that way as they would with anything else at the school. So we kind of got the credit we deserved, and felt real good to kind of be acknowledged for that. So we definitely counted that as a win.
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, the support that you see from the rest of the school, because there are a lot of esports programs that kind of hide in the shadows, and that's where some gamers like to be. But it's good to see recognized for the hard work and then getting that experience at a state tournament because those kids are going to come back. They're going to be sharing, to talk about that experience and say, "Hey, this is where we did. This was what competition felt like." So hopefully, you end up going back this year. Those kids have that experience, that knowledge. You'll be even better for them.
Yeah, the students and as well as the school, uh, once the admin and the directors are seeing that support from the rest of the school, it's going to want them to be able to support us more. They're seeing the interest in it, how it's a positive impact on the
Yep.
students. So then we're able to get more systems or get some lighting or decorations for the room. Maybe some extra funding for some like snacks or rewards for the kids. So definitely good to get any kind of support and gives us an opportunity to grow.
Yep. And that support in a lot of different ways, both the kind of emotional support of the, I love every time I've seen that happen for a school where even esports get recognized with that walk, like that, state, the walk to state kind of thing. I know a school district near us has done that for the esports team. I've heard of another school district where their cheerleaders even came up with cheers for the team. Like that was great to hear.
Yeah.
One of the other guests I had on, any of that, like especially for the kids who are involved, because if they're not involved in other activities, other sports, they're never going to get to feel that, but they get to feel that because they're part of an esports team.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's awesome to see that for the students too, like seeing them happy, especially if they weren't involved in anything before, didn't really have a drive to go to school or nothing to
Yep.
look forward to, and then now they're fully committed and having fun, making new friends in this new activity. So, good to see it impacting them in all those good ways.
So yeah, that's definitely a big win, I think. So I mean, 2 years in, you got something to hang on. You got a lot of support now, and you get another coach added on. So it seems like you got good growth going. So I guess, like, say, are you looking forward to the future season? You think you're going to get more and more kids involved? Uh,
Yeah, I think right now we're in a good spot. We actually were using the library for our space. So we were having to share it. We didn't have full access to it all the time. But now we have our dedicated room. We got some more PCs and it's all decorated real nice. Um, so we have the space. We have a lot of students coming. We have a lot of team rosters made already. But I think we're in a good place to kind of grow, um, be able to fully focus on what we need to focus on and see how we can grow rather than fixing all the problems we have,
yep.
growing the actual program. Now we have time to um, learn more in the gaming world, kind of focus on our smaller problems and kind of perfect our craft however we can. So definitely excited. We're starting the spring season now. Preseason's about to start for us. So spring season's exciting. We have a lot of in-person state qualifiers going into the state finals. Um, we'll have a couple college visits where the colleges will come and talk to the students and the parents about scholarships.
Hmm.
So a lot of exciting things happening in the spring. The kids are excited. We're back to school from the winter break, so we're all pretty pumped up to see what's to come.
Yeah, and so I'm guessing it sounds like you have two seasons in fall and spring.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Iowa, we're weird. We have three, and it's like, I would like a little bit of a break every now and then. No break. We just go one season to
Yeah.
the next. I got a
Yeah.
day off. That was good enough.
No.
No, I mean, it sounds great, especially you talk about the colleges. Being in the second year, you probably don't have a lot of parents who are realizing that, yeah, my kids that are playing video games, oh, they can get a college scholarship to do this. They can go and get college paid for by going to play
Yeah.
esports at like that is the once they started getting parents to really realize that it was a big shift for a lot of them. Especially the school board, like when we shared, like, hey, we did this placement here. Oh, by the way, these kids are getting scholarship offers. They're like, oh, my mind is shifting from like this is just an extra
Yeah.
thing to this is a good thing. Like we need to do more of this.
Yeah. And those are the things that they're looking to hear. Like
Yep.
if it's going to make them successful, there's a chance that they can do something with it, then they're all for it. That's all they needed to hear. But if they hear that they're playing video games, that's
Yep.
not what they want to hear. So it's good to have that backing behind it and kind of show them those opportunities. Um, it's good seeing the support from the parents too. When I have my parent meetings and I kind of let them know what we've been doing in practice and show them the statistics, the differences in their grades, their attendance, um, kind of their interest in college and how much they've asked me, like, what do I got to do to get a scholarship for esports? It kind of perks them up and like, ask me what they can do to help or like what they can do at home to help improve with the students for esports because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of parents don't really know too much about it. So it's good to kind of see once they get that information and the insight into all of it, how they see that there is potential in it and kind of how it's worth supporting it too. So, kind of seeing the spread of it from the students to the parents to the school, it's just like a big web of esports. So
Yep.
it's real cool to see.
Yeah, definitely getting the parents involved and something I'm constantly like I get a lot of the same kids, but then you get I got a whole lot of new kids this season, so I need to get some of that word out there, be like, hey, this is what's happening. Kind of a rough season for us going, but is there anything we haven't really touched on that you wanted to share out?
Um, Not too particularly. Just how I'm thankful that I am involved in the esports and how fast esports as a whole is growing. It's kind of been one of my dreams to kind of have a career in esports.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so actually living it, being able to reach out and seeing the positive impact that I have on the students, um, it makes me feel a lot better. It motivates me to kind of put more structure to our practices, sacrifice more of my time to them, um, and just figure out how I can make it the best experience for all of them. Um, I'm still trying to I'm learning as I go. I'm glad I'm able to be on here and kind of get my thoughts out, my input on it. I've been listening to a lot of episodes, so it was cool hearing all the other coaches and kind of what they think about it. So uh, pretty much just thankful to be in it. Looking forward to what's to come and super excited for the future. Going back into the spring season with all of our esports rooms ready. We're able to market it a lot, got all of our new systems. So it's just real big. We're kind of at the peak of our esports right now. So real exciting things for us.
It sounds like you have a really good start to it. And like I said, yeah, esports is exploding and there are a lot of resources out there. So I want to thank you first for the kind of words about the podcast. But yeah, it's like, it's about learning along the way. Like this is my 6th year. There's still a lot of things I'm learning, which is I'm thankful for organizations like NACAD and NASEP. There are organizations out there to help esports coaches along. But
Yep.
even like when I first learned about Scholastic Esports, which was only 6 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, this is like it's going to grow and keep growing, and that's going to be a positive thing for kids. So we're going to end with the fun question. You kind of already said this a little bit, like, your top game of all time. You said you compete in league. So what's your favorite game of all time, if not league? And then besides Valorant, is there anything else you're playing right now?
Uh, All-time favorite, it's got to be League. I've
Yep.
played League for about 12 years, 11, 12 years. Um, a lot of my time, a lot of my days have been sacrificed to League of Legends, so that's the main one. Uh, I would say right now, I'm mainly playing Valorant, but I've been playing a little bit of Rocket League,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I actually play a little bit of Skate. Not a competitive esport,
Yep.
but I've played like Skate 3 growing up. I've always been a skater, so that's one of my favorite games. We haven't had a skate game in over 10 years, so I was super excited for Skate. I've been playing that one a lot.
Yeah, I played Skate back and I haven't played the new one though. I might have to. And then yeah,
Yeah,
Rocket League. It does help playing Rocket League if you're going to coach it. You're not going to use, I know probably like the aerials and that. Like I was
yeah,
not good
no.
practice for my kids when I was playing with them.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
not quite there yet. I hit platinum and then went back to practice and was bragging to all of them, and they
yep.
just laughed at me. So,
Yep. Yeah, I'll just play enough to know enough. And I hope
mm,
league, I know league interest is kind of on the downslope. It may come back. You never know with that. League and Smite are kind of in the same little boat there.
yeah,
But the colleges are still playing. I just don't know. It's one of those things. It's
it,
part of esports. Things come and go. Titles change.
that's right. And it
But the
it kind of
interest
takes
is,
a lot. It takes
yeah.
kind of a lot
Oh
to
yeah.
fully commit to a league team and have all five roles filled and
Yep.
teach the game to all five different roles. So it's a little more tricky esport, but it's definitely possible.
Yep. And it's definitely one I kind of wish I had learned earlier because, I think my focus is not as great these days, so I need to get that better to learn league. So well, thank you for being on and for sharing your story. And like I said, I really hope to hear from everybody across the country, especially as esports keeps growing. How do people get started? All those obstacles and all those wins. The wins are what will keep us going. So for everybody
Yeah,
listening, keep listening. We got some more episodes coming, and thank you.
thank you.